Kagurabachi chapter 16 silence is a interesting chapter I gotta say. Oh boy, the Kagurabachi. Yeah, the story got intense and I liked with what happened with Sojo and Kanunabai. I'm so sorry Japan for mispronouncing that. I can't pronounce Japanese words all that well. But I'm proud that they did that, that the creator had the guts to do that, and I do hope that, well, we'll save that till when we get there. All right, let's just jump into the review, shall we? Because yeah, Kagurabachi, I like it, and we do again explanation of something I did have a gripe with in the last chapter. But before that, we have Cheeto just carrying Char on his back. You know, she's just hanging on him, and she's like, "Hey, yo, are you okay? You want the sandwich?" And Cheeto's like, nah, it's fine. Again, Char being cute and adorable. It's pretty funny. And then we get an explanation on how Chihiro was able to achieve his technique that we saw in the last chapter. Sorry, Japan. Nishiki augments the single blow of the hand or foot with high dense spirit power. As we see it at normally, it just has just a spirit power with it. But then just now with spirit power actually coming out of the blade to give more of a power attack as the narration continues. But that Nishiki just now aided the movements rather than augmenting it. Excuse me. It's a new method that puts less stress on the body. Less stress is good, but screaming pain is still screaming in pain. So as we know, so with the sword, with the power you have it within you. With normally, when we see Chiro use it, it's because he has the power within it. But the other way Chiro is able to do it, where it was actually he swings, but it's already cutting them before even the blade cuts them itself. So I get it, but I'm still not a fan of it. But again, this is just personally. I'm not gonna take anything away from the story because it makes sense for the story and how Cheeto is able to advance the blade. So that's interesting, and I do like that. I said, yeah, it's good. This technique is still good, but you're wounded. You're still wounded. So yeah, this didn't heal you or anything. So okay. The only thing I just have a problem with is they said that Cheeto had trouble swinging the blade, and but now well then he had enough power with this technique to just completely blitz everyone and just slice. Well, obviously he's not slicing him; he's using his power to do it. But still, I'm like, I don't know about that. But let's continue as we shall we? As Cheeto just says, don't worry, we could switch later. Switch him. I guess her carrying. As he thinks to himself, this pain is nothing compared to what you've been. As he thinks himself, uh, to that about her, because again, everything she's been through. Jeez, what Sojo and his cronies have done to her. As Char says, "Oh, by the way, where's Hinao?" And Shio says, "Oh, she's good. Everyone's just fine." And she's happy to hear that. And she sees his hand that's wrapped up in bandages. She's like, "Your hand, you're not fine, Shihiro." And Shihiro just says, "Oh, I'm okay. Don't worry about it." And then we get a flashback of her hearing Sojo talking about her with the scientist saying, just as we suspected, the regeneration abilities of the Koyogai can infuse the cells to others. Our goal is in sight, but how come it's still not working? Okay, so again, I do believe that yeah, Sojo would say this in front of her because again, she's a kid. What is she gonna do about it? He could legit tell her like the whole plan. Oh, she knows the whole plan, so it's like in other stories, like when they captured someone, they're like, yeah, we caught you. Then here is the plan, our master plan. But with her, it's like, she's in a cage, she's right next to the lab, and and Sojo and the scientists are talking. And again, she's just a child. She's just a child that can't do anything. She can't escape on her own. The only time we ever see her escape is with her mother, and her mother died in the process. So that's perfectly fine stuff like that. Again, and Sojo's not looking at her, talking to her, like, this is what we're gonna do with your blood. No, he's like just talking to the scientist. So I like that. I like that. All right, that's good stuff there. And it's small, but it's very appreciated. And then we get Char saying, "Give me your left hand." And Cheeto, as he lifts up, he's like, "Hey, why?" And she just remembers what her mother said as she says, "Oh, sorry, this is Char saying this with her mother. Why do all my owies always heal so fast?" And the mother says, "It's a special power that just you and I have, Char. How do you feel when you get an owie?" And she says, "It hurts." And the mother says, "Do you like it?" And she says, "No." And the mother says, "The reason it heals is because you want it to stop. You want to stop the pain." And as we get Char holding onto Cheeto's hand, she continues to concentrate. As we get Sojo just thinking to himself, or sorry, speaking in a flashback, another failure. The numbers show the cells influencing the others again with a larger sample. So cutting off another giant chunk of Char, which is horrifying. As we get Char's mother again in the flashback. What matters most is wishing. If you wish hard enough, you can heal any injury. And then we get Char remembering her interactions with Chihiro and her mother, and then Chihiro saving her as she starts again. We don't know to the extent, but she starts healing Chihiro's arm to where later on we see him where he's like, "Oh, all right," but again we don't know how much she healed him. And I like this. I like this a lot because a long time ago, when I was in high school, holy cow, when we were talking, our science teacher was talking to us about cells, and the more active you are, the more active your cells get, and there is some kind of psychological thing that I don't know if science really knows it all too well now, but back then I don't know if they if did too much. But our teacher told us that sometimes wishing to become better you will actually help you get better. Like that's why sometimes doctors when they prescribe people medicine they'll give them like penicillin, which penicillin is obviously a fake, it's a sugar pill. It doesn't really help you with anything. But sometimes when you give it to someone, it'll actually help them get better because they're legit believing that they're getting better. And I like the concept that just because Sojo is taking flesh from Char and putting it in an experiment and it's not working, it's like it should be working. We don't know why it's not working, but it should. All right, just chop off another piece of her. But as the mother said, you the way it heals that she's able to help Char heal faster, and Char's able to heal faster is because Char wants to heal faster, and Char's mother wants her to heal faster. But with Char wanting Chihiro to heal faster, she has to remember the good times. She wants to help him because he's a good person that helped her so much. And she's her wanting this is what activates the cells to heal other people, which is actually not that bad. And I actually really like that. I like that a lot. That's good stuff here. I was like, wow, this is pretty good. I don't know if the creator had this in mind. Humans actually in the real world being more active, heal faster. But well, when I say active, I guess the cells. I mean, but people wishing or wanting to be well through a process like as I said, penicillin. I really hope I'm getting the right word, penicillin. Um, to help them, get better faster, because they're wanting it. I like that a lot. I like that a lot with Char. That's again good stuff here with that. And then we get Chihiro and Char meeting up with Shiba as he's just looking on ahead. And I had no idea what was going on when I first was reading this. As he says, "Mr. Shiba, please take care of Char for me." And she was like, "All right." As he gets her, as Shiba continues, "Honestly, Chihiro, you're the one who should do this. Still, I can't help but worry." And Cheeto says, "It's okay." As he flexes, not flex, but he's kind of moving his arm to show, that he's doing all right. He says, "Char, she healed me." And right there, Char just says, "Chihiro, don't die." And Cheeto just looks at her and says, "Yeah, thanks." As he gets his sword, and right there he says, "Inten." And then we cut to a little farther back within the duration of 10 to 20 seconds. So all this happens within 10 to 20 seconds. I'm not a fan of that. I'm not a fan of how showing how fast these characters are moving. And then we're gonna see them not have great reaction in the future, but we'll see how that turns out. So again, we'll see in the future, but let's read on right here as we get the members of the Kagurabachi just still coming down, just pounding right on Sojo as yeah, they start closing in on him, and Sojo just makes a bunch of ice spikes just shoot right at them, and they all just immediately start dodging. As the one with the mask says, "Of course you can link together Yuri and Kuyu." And then right there, Sojo just turns around and he sees them again, more of them just coming and coming. And as we see the new guy just standing with the female member, as he says, "God, I want to fight too." And she says, "Be patient. You're our secret weapon." But man, I'm getting tired here. And then right there, we get one of the Kanubai members actually grabbing Sojo's arm, so his arm's just stuck. He can't swing the sword no more, and he's just thinking to himself like he's still emitting electricity, but It's nowhere near enough to slow down the Kanurubai. As the member with the mask says, "Hey, has it been 10 seconds yet? Change of strategy." And then the leader of the Ikuto, I believe it's Ikuto again. Forgive me, Japan. As he thinks to himself, is so this is the true realm. No, dial up the iron, magnetize. As the one with the mask just his mask just hardens and his hands just harden as he says, "All right, now it's time, right?" And Ikuto says, "Well, since he went to the trouble of providing us such a wonderful electrical charge, let's go with an instant electromagnetic blast." And right there, then we get the one with the mask that says "subdue," and we get these tendrils just wrap around Sojo, where he's pinned. So his arm can't move, he can't attack, and he's also pinned. And if you get the one with the mask, just get launched so far, as Ikuto says, "Perfect, keep him there." And right there, the one with the mask strikes Sojo right in the guts. You see his guts just spilling, and a chunk of the little landmass that they're on just breaks off. And right there, the Ikuto and the rest of the Kamurobai don't celebrate yet, but they're like, okay, this is more than likely over, but we gotta still hold on, right? As one of the members is holding on to Sojo's sword, as Ikuto says, "All right, now that we've got this, it's in the bag." And right there we get Sojo saying, me and Yuzuko will handle the rest." And then an electric bl- strand just shoots right through that member, just blowing left of his arm. And the Kanurubai member with the mask gets a massive hole blown through him. And yeah, Sojo essentially just blitzed as he just zoomed, holding on with the electrical ability, grabbed the sword through his mouth, and yeah, it's not gonna go well because Ikuto just shouts, "Move to phase two, Izani, use it!" And then the member is like, "All right, you demon muff!" And he gets his entire right arm severed, and the female member looks like she got her throat. Then we get Sojo narrating as he says, "I could sense that the more I used it, the more I was able to harmonize with the Cloud Gorsher. It's not all that surprising that the interior got shorter. What's notable is what happened next. Instead of releasing the built up me, I tried cloaking instead. A bit time consuming, but all in all, your example has been helpful." As we remember, there's a time where Chihiro took in all of the blast from the electricity so it wouldn't destroy the streets where all the people were. So yeah, he got the idea from there. So good on you, Sojo. I like it. I like intelligent villains. As we cut to a panel of where the defeated Kamurobai are, and it seems like one of them is still alive. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if a few are, but I think we could guarantee like three of them are dead. Well, the female one should be. She got her throat slit, and two of them got a massive hole blown through them. And honestly, I don't see why Sojo would leave any of them alive. I legit don't see why he would. But then the narration continues. Even as he sensed their deaths, he remained focused, seeking ever deeper into concentration. So yeah, Chihiro was aware that these guys were getting killed. Holy cow, how good are you, Chihiro, for sensing? I don't know how far that is from this area, but holy freak if Chihiro was able to sense that. And then Sojo continues. I thought you wouldn't be able to move for a while. You seem to have a deeper understanding of it now. Yes, there is much we have to talk about, but what we need now isn't words, it seems. And then the narration says, both of them suffered great wounds and were exhausted from battling. Both deepened their understanding of the sacred blade, and at that point in time, they individually sensed the time limit of the sword's ultimate attack. They just so happened to coincide, as Shiro says Nishi and Sojo says me. 12 seconds later, the battle would last a mere moment as both of them seemed to take a step and disappeared. And holy freak! Okay, overall, I did like this chapter. It's just again, it's the whole thing with Chihiro, still being able to do his new technique, But I get it. Yeah, it's the power, helping him with the sword's power, helping him. And then with Sojo, again, having a massive wound in his gut, and he's still able to continue fighting like this. So I gotta take it now that people in this, well, when I say people, characters in this world, like very strong fighters, could go on fighting like this. So I gotta take that into consideration now, where characters like this are gonna be like a bit harder to kill, you know. So yeah, I gotta take that into consideration. So overall, and I buy that. It does seem like these two really could sense each other's, powers of their swords. So them coming in and wanting to fight each other, and just ending this, it's all right. It's time to end it. It's like the way of the samurai. You just gotta fight this person one on one and just end it. I don't know if samurais really did that. I don't know. I heard that they usually just jump their opponent and kill them. I heard whatever took the win, that's how they won. But I don't know. I like them aesthetically, but I don't know much about their the actual dueling rules that they had. But yeah. Overall, I like this chapter a lot. I'm gonna give it an 8 out of 10. The only question I have for you guys is, do you think Sojo's gonna die? I don't want him to die, but he might die. I know we got just that one glimpse of his flashback, and honestly, I think that the author probably could expand on that right before he dies. Like a flashback of his life. But I don't know. I've always thought Sojo would kind of be like the not the main villain, but like Chihiro's rival throughout this whole series. But who knows? He might get damaged and just make a run for it. It's possible he could probably get angry and be like, "Yeah, I'm gonna come at you, Cheeto." And then Cheeto also getting healed from Char. I like that to show that he has a chance. Because again, as I said in my previous reviews, Sojo, even though he's new to this blade, he's still this menace, this evil character that just just very very powerful with the sword, and is just unlike Cheeto is far more willing to be like savage with it. Like okay, I know Cheeto's savage with his weapon, but Sojo's just more willing to be like just go out there, just being more willing to just risk it all just to go out there, and I like that. And he didn't have much training with the sword as we established. So again, it's understandable their levels are almost close, but Sojo being wounded and Char healing Chihiro, I like that. So it seems to me more it's going to be more of an even fight. I like that a lot. And honestly, my money is definitely going to be on Chihiro again. Not because he's the main character, but just because it seems like his stats are a bit higher and he does have a massive gut wound. But that could be me though. So yeah, yeah, the only question I have is, do you think Sojo dies? And I'm leaning towards yes. Unfortunately, I like that villain though, but hey, things happen. So yeah. Anyway, that concludes my review of Kagurabachi, and yeah, you guys have a great day and take care. And man, Sojo, it happens. Later, guys.